We have here the EZ-GO Concept. What does this concept means for Renault brand and for the world?
Yes, clearly the city and the world change. In fact, with more and more people in the city, we expect 70% of people in the city in 2050. And clearly we need to reshape the mobility in the city. And the proposal of EZ-GO, it's a vision of what could be autonomous mobility with robo vehicle in the coming years. With, like you can see, a robo vehicle, electric, shared, for very affordable mobility in the city.
Mm-hmm. Is this a concept, the shape of this concept suggests us a car that we'll see on the streets, or this is just for, let's say, motor show purposes?
I think it's clearly it's not the first robo vehicle that we will operate. We expect to start to operate robo vehicle in 2022. But this one, it's more a vision of what it could be in future after. Like you can see with a very easy life robo vehicle, where you can go inside by the large and huge door. It's not a box like a bus on the wheel. It's clearly a car, but a shared car for very good mobility.
But what is a robo vehicle? Because it's a new term that I'm hearing now from you.
Yes, it's clearly an autonomous vehicle dedicated to mobility. Nobody drives it. It's fully autonomous, but without a steering wheel, without a pedal, and it's clearly dedicated to urban. It's electric, dedicated to urban mobility with low speed, but to do everything in the city.
Mm-hmm. How can you use this kind of robo vehicle? You'll have, I don't know, you can call it by the app and pay by the credit card. I mean, which is the model of use for this idea?
You order the car by an application on your smartphone, and you can pay trip by trip, or you can pay by a monthly fee. It depends on the package than you want, and it's very easy to use it. In fact, whenever you are, you can call the robo taxi. We can imagine some area when you can pick up and drop off without anything around the car. To be easy to go everywhere in the city. And sometimes we can have some station that we can show on the Motor Show in Geneva to provide a very easy access to the vehicle.
Okay, and the idea of this robo vehicle can be also implemented on other Renault cars, maybe on Renault Espace or something like that, because it's obvious that the cars won't look like this one, right?
Sorry, I don't understand exactly.
So can you apply the idea of robo vehicle and the mobility services idea also on existing Renault cars, for example a Renault Espace or maybe a Zoe or something that it's more common looking, let's say, because it's obvious that this car, it won't look like this in 10 years.
Yes, clearly we will show this year three type of concept car for new mobility with autonomous vehicle, but like we share, it's clearly a vision of a future, maybe, I don't know, 2030, but we will start with maybe more conventional adapted car to start operation of autonomous mobility in 2022.
Which is the status of Renault Mobility Services now in this moment? Do you offer such things, and this is a development, or this is a completely new thing for the Renault brand?
No, we started with proposing some ride-hailing and car-sharing mobility services. We do car-sharing with our electric vehicle, sometimes with partners like Green Mobility in Copenhagen, or like a partnership that we do with Vergelas and ZT in Spain. And we develop Renault Mobility Services for private and for company to share their own fleet with employer of the company and increase the rate of the usage of the car for the company. This is for car sharing, and at the same time we develop ride-hailing with Carou and Marcel, some kind of PHV, a private air vehicle, to provide mobility services.
Can you give us some examples in terms of cost? How much it will cost for a person to use this kind of services, or a company?
The autonomous vehicle, the robo vehicle?
Yeah.
Yes, it's difficult to have a cost now because it depends a lot about when we speak about. But clearly we expect price and cost in the continuation of what PHV do. And probably with a small decreasing of the price of this kind of mobility between, in fact, a little bit between taxi and mass transit price.
Okay, that's a good indicator
Yes.
for the price. And you said about the timing, because we don't know when the right time will come for this. Which is the Renault idea about it? I mean, in how many years do you think this is going to be possible to be implemented in some cities?
We will start to operate in the autonomous mobility in first cities in 2022.
Okay.
It will be the beginning before deployment in several cities around the world, in fact.
And which will be the first city, or which are going to be the first cities?
We don't choose yet. Clearly, we operate some what we call field operational test with real user in the street. Currently, we do that in Rouen, in France, with 4 Zoe, and in Paris-Saclay, near Paris, with 2 Zoe, and Nissan do in Japan with DNA in Yokohama, and it's the beginning of this kind of autonomous mobility operation to learn about the vehicle, the usage, and everything around this mobility services.
Mm-hmm. And which are the first conclusions that you draw from this testing period? What do you see? How the people use the car?
Yes, currently we started with the vehicle, and we will start with real user in the middle of the year. In fact, it's a little bit early to speak about the result, but the customer studied and we done show us a strong interest for this kind of mobility. Very easy to live in the city.
So do you see this service to be added in the range of Renault services? Because now Renault, for example, offers new cars, offers parts for the cars that Renault sold. Also, it delivers accessories and also other kind of services like financial services, yes, and so on. So do you see that this robo vehicle and mobility services will be added? It will be another, let's say, kind of service, a part of Renault Group, or how do you position it?
Yes, clearly mobility services are additional business, additional offer to Renault offer currently, and we are sure that it will be developed more and more with a continuation with what we do today, and it's more complementary to current own vehicle and additional in terms of services for the city.
Who is the target for this? Are private users, are people employed in companies, or how do you see it? Which is the business model?
Yes, the target it's everybody. In fact, it's clearly it's a final customer, private, for mobility in the city. It's company too. From now, with car sharing in the company, and for autonomous vehicle, for ride-hailing in the city, and the city too, because we have to work with them to set up the solution in the city and see how we manage between the taxi and the mass transit operation.
Mm-hmm. Is this idea linked purely on electric vehicles, or you can translate it to, let's say, a petrol or a hybrid vehicle?
Well, on our side currently, we work on autonomous vehicle only on electric, and clearly we think the mobility services are the right way to increase the electric mobility in the city.
And for the electric vehicles, I know that it's a problem that this kind of technology with autonomous driving and so on, it drains very much the battery power, because these equipments are very big consumers, right?
Yes.
Of energy. And how do you plan to fix this conflict?
In fact, when you drive in the city, you don't do a lot of mileage. In fact, a lot of kilometers. And clearly, the autonomous vehicle will go to charge when it needed. In fact, we use 7 hours, and after that we will plug the car to recharge.
Okay. Thank you so much for the infos.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.